I just want to run through actually some of the big names yesterday that have reported last week. And I want to kick off really with Facebook. That was the big story here. They had a lot of issues in the quarter, right down from continued issues and fallout over the Cambridge Analytica data scandal through, of course, to the issues around the Russian election interference and the general data protection regulation. These are some of the big issues that came out, of course, and they came to the fore in the earnings. What you saw is a big miss on the user numbers, and particularly in Europe, we saw them shed roughly 1 million users from the previous quarter, and that was a big decline due to GDPR and also some of the issues around privacy. There was, however, bright spots where they picked up users in Asia. But interestingly, with the Asian users, their average revenue per user in Asia is significantly lower than that in Europe. So if that trend continues, it's going to be hard to offset those declines by just picking up users in other regions. The forward guidance as well came in below estimates. And on top of that, there was some real slowdown in ad pricing as well. So those were some of the big concerns. The bulls, of course, will say the bright spots are the fact that Facebook has hardly even begun to monetize things like Instagram and WhatsApp and Messenger. But of course, the big concern here is over the issue and impact over user numbers. Another big story, of course, last week was Amazon. Now, that was a bright spot, of course. This was a company that has now reported profits of $1 billion or more in 3 consecutive quarters. And of course, many analysts are concerned that actually this was a company riding on razor-thin margins, but it's managed to turn that profit very much thanks to its AWS cloud business. Now, while that only accounted for about 11% of revenues, it was roughly 55% of profits. And that was, of course, a huge bright spot for Amazon as it continues to grow that cloud business. And another big bright spot for Amazon was the fact that its ad business continues to grow at around 132%. So massive growth there, and another big positive for the company. I want to quickly move on to Alphabet now as well. This was a company, there was a lot of concerns about the rising costs over the past few quarters, but it's managed to allay some of those fears by beating on the EPS, beating on revenues, and also this key traffic acquisition cost number, how much it essentially pays other manufacturers like Apple, for example, to use its search service on its devices. That was significantly lower as well. So that was a big positive as well. Now, of course, the big focus for the market is Apple, who report earnings today. And the big focus here is going to be around that crucial iPhone number. The market's expecting somewhere around 3% growth for iPhones, which accounts for about 42 million iPhones. There are, of course, going to be rumors knocking about now about 3 new iPhones potentially coming out later this year. And that's something investors will want to be hear more about. Services, what they're getting from Apple Music, from their iTunes store and the App Store. That, of course, has been a bright spot for the company, growing at 20 to 30% every single quarter, and investors were wanting to be seeing more of that growth as well. China, of course, in focus, and some of the other future topics as well. So, guys, just with that, I want to throw it back to you at the desk.
Hey, everybody, it's Hadley Gamble from our new CNBC Middle East Bureau in Abu Dhabi. Thanks for stopping by. Now, to watch more, you can try one of the videos that just popped up on your screen. And don't forget to subscribe.